Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching 100. This episode 11 of the 5th season. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying it so far, and if you'd like to watch today's full episode, it is available for free in a link in the description below. Just click on it, put the password in, and enjoy. Speaking about links in the description, we are running our most liked to dislike characters of season 5. That is right. It takes 30 seconds and your results of mine will be shown in the final episode of this season. I'm excited to see obviously who you choose, because I think it's been a mad one for a couple of characters. So last episode we started with Maddie and obviously with Clark. They was fleeing. Clark doesn't want her to become the true commander. She doesn't want her to recite the ritual, and you know, she wants to get her far away from Octavia and Diosa and all the chaos as possible. Now the interesting thing is they pulled up and they had the eggs and the worms in the back, and Clark threw them out. She smashed them. She said, mate, we don't want none of that. We don't want the possibility of obviously them coming and obviously attacking Diosa and co. So that was interesting. She's still got the flame inside of her neck. She's still suffering from these dreams. She's seen visions. She's seen Becca being burnt. Clark saying, look, this is the reason why I didn't want you to have it. Maddie turned around and said, look, I know that it's kind of painful and I'm going through a tough time right now, but I feel like this is what the commanders want me to see, and I want to keep the flame in and I don't want to take it out, and I actually want to lead. So this is interesting. Two different opposites. You know, Clark's ended up turning around for the first time, in my opinion, give a good justified reason why she doesn't want her to actually have it. She said, look, mate, you know, all commanders, regardless of the age, they all die. They all die brutally as well, and I don't want that to happen to you. That is the first time we've got some great justification from Clark, speaking like a mother, and I can understand the reason why she actually doesn't want her to have it now. The interesting thing is, obviously, we've seen that BELLAMY, he's obviously took Octavia out a couple of episodes prior, and Ninjas tried to go through with it as well to stop, obviously, the march onto Diosa, and now their punishment is coming. Octavia's put, obviously, BELLAMY, Gaia and Indra into the pit, and they've got to fight be the last. Now the interesting thing is, you know, Octavia doesn't want BELLAMY to die, even though she loves Indra. She actually told her that the shoulder, that pike shot, is still weak, and that is going to be his opportunity to go after it after obviously Gaia gets taken out, because she believes she's the weakest. Now the interesting thing is, Indra was saying, look mate, you know, I'm not going to be the last, and neither is BELLAMY. I'm going to kill BELLAMY and then I'm going to kneel down, I'm going to let Gaia win. Interesting stuff. Now when he was actually fighting, Gaia, instead of attacking both of them, she just took the spear and launched it at Octavia, so she attacked her. Now obviously Octavia, she dropped it back down and she was like, be the last. She was waiting for him to fight again before Monty's come in, and he's like, look, he told everybody about the scenario with his algae farm, how he's growing plants, you know, how he can create food, the hydro system's not down, he can actually do it to the topsoil, he can start obviously having plants and food up on the ground. And Octavia, she's stormed off, do you know what I mean? Like everybody's kind of moaning at her now. You know, she didn't really have the full people on her side anyway. Now they know that a true commander could possibly be here. And now, obviously, she's been lying to them about resources and being able to, obviously, like, fashion their own rations. That she's actually gone into the algae farm herself and burnt it down, mate. Stubbornness.com. Now she's turned around and said, look, there's no food, there's no true commander, there's just me, Blood Rainer, and we are marching. And then she's just stormed off and everybody's got to follow. They got no other opportunity. So it's interesting stuff. Can't wait to see how today's episode goes. Thanks for checking it out. If you do enjoy it, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, let's jump into today's episode.
Hold the funnel up high, okay?
Oh, is she gonna flush it out? Quite clever, that.
Are you ready to get back to work? How the hell did you get here?
Stopped just before midnight.
Clever.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to see
How long do we have?
Assuming they left this morning, 6 days, maybe 7. You're all sick. That's why you took my mom with you from Polis.
And now that you're back, she might actually do her job.
She just overdosed. Or now she could die.
Well, now we have a problem. You bumped her stomach, so obviously you have some skill. Once she's back on her feet, if she still won't cure us, well, I guess you both get to watch your daughters die.
Do you know what I mean? Becca, not Becca, sorry, Ali, when she wanted everybody to do and take the chip, you know what I mean? It had to be their own free will. And people was like, no. So what everybody done was like, look, mate, you're not going to take it. I'll kill Abby. Kane's like, don't kill her, I'll take it. Do you know what I mean? You're not going to take it, Abby. I'll kill Raven. No, don't kill her, I'll take it. And that's the same thing, man. Are you going to help us, Doc? No. How about now? I've got a gun to Clark's head. You going to help us? Yeah, I thought so. Get doing that stuff. Do you know what I mean? Desperate times call for desperate measures. That's the best play.
Is there anything you can't fix?
Besides my leg? Nope.
Careful, cave's not big enough to fit your head. Okay, well then what about Aegis 3?
When we were on the mothership, I hacked the Aegis files. I just couldn't crack that one.
If McCreary's moving his troops north, the WONKRU's on the march again.
Can't be helpful unless we know all the facts.
If McCreary knows they're coming, then we failed.
So they need to contact Octavia then? Is that their plan then, to tell her?
Echo.
Wait, she's speaking trick for a reason.
Okay.
Yeah, smart.
Shit sketchy.
And we'll get him be like yours come around. You doesn't drop the shiv off.
Advice in time. Also campo there. You got it down in no luck. Also up clear tree.
We're on it. Trust has to be earned. Isn't that right, Colonel?
And I never get the gun.
Staying here.
Do you know what? I actually really liked what's just happened there. Do you know how they were speaking? What did they say it was called? Trig. That was decent. And, you know, Bellamy is right. They're already marching. They can't go back. It's pointless. But what he needs to do, he needs to go to Octavia. He needs to say, look, they know we're coming. Because right now, if he's not informed her, you know what I mean? She's walking in. They've got the surprise element. They can attack. Now, if you know that they know that you're coming, you can anticipate it. You can send scouts out, spies. You know what I mean? You can try and change your strategic approach to it, knowing that they're waiting for you. You know what I mean? That's the best way to tackle it. But also, Grandma here now, technically, with my dad, it's going to be interesting.
Mom, no. Hey. I don't want you to see me like that. Right now, we have to focus on getting you on your feet so you can operate.
He threatened to kill us, didn't he?
Your heart rate's weak, and you're not retaining fluid.
The system's too compromised. There's an opiate blocker in the bag. They took it from the bunker. That'll put me into rapid detox.
How long has this been going on?
Too long.
We've only been down here for 2.
I've
Hey,
done
interesting.
everything I could think of short of eradicating the infected plants.
We don't get at least 10% of our calories from protein over that amount of time, we'll starve to death.
Don't tell me they're going to eat people.
The fighting pits.
I thought he was going to eat people when he was
Will it be
worming them.
enough to last a year? Give us another solution.
Do you know what, right? Is eating people that far-fetched? I know, like, obviously now, in modern day, yeah, I'm not saying I want to go out and eat somebody, but what I'm saying is, like, in this society here, if you've literally got no food and you're underground and you can't go out and you're literally on your last legs and you got people that are dying, can you not, like, reuse them? I know it sounds mad. It honestly does. Like, I won't even eat anything that's not, like, what you call a standard food, i.e., like, beef and chicken and lamb. You know what I mean? You start pushing me over there to that, like, mad stuff like octopus and all that stuff. I ain't going nowhere near it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't eat duck, hare, whatever's. I mean, I know people love it. I just see them as weird animals, and I'm just like, nah, mate. So a person, do you know what I mean? That's just, like, crazy. But the fact is, if they're going to throw them in the fighting pit and they're going to die, yeah, that's one person less gone that you have to feed. But they've got so much protein there. You know what I mean? Like, well, I know it's crazy, but I just think that you could kind of, like, kill 2 birds with 1 stone with that one.
Bellamy and Andrew want to talk. I don't know what it's about, but we disarmed them.
You're marching us into a massacre.
You don't need to worry about the missiles, but they're moving their weapons into position. We thought we should let you know that you've killed your people.
Bellamy.
Enjoy your walk.
The thing is, though, I'm pretty sure that Octavia's people way outnumber theirs, so they can inflict casualties.
Hello, beautiful.
The box next to it is ammunition.
There's loads there.
Why don't we just go ahead and pretend this thing never happened? I got a better idea. He drops her weapon, turn your pretty friends into pink mist.
Shaw, what the hell are you doing?
Let them go, take me. McCreary gets his pilot.
Oh, yes. That's what I'm talking about.
Welcome.
You done well there. Why is Raven upset as she saved him?
Hell yeah.
Oh, mate, I want him to start blasting everyone with that.
You can stay.
Raven's caught feels for him, that's what it is. I want John to just be like, boom, 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 Joe killing all of them.
I'm worried about Abby, too. McCreary came for us. She put herself between a bullet and my child without even blinking.
What about this war? Are we on the right side? How does it play out?
WONKRU will suffer losses at the border. But once they get in, with their numbers advantage and training, Red Queen will reign over the Green Valley.
How do you choose between the monster and the devil?
No matter what you say, we're gonna get you through this. Do you see what she's doing? She's acting like she can make the decision for you.
She's deciding for Maddie though.
You're never gonna forgive yourself.
What's happening to her?
Her heart stopped.
Yo, I'm liking these little clips here.
We all know the situation. Some of you think it's a sin. We're all that's left of the human race.
Are they eating people then? Because no one's touching that meat. That looks disgusting, that though, I'm not gonna lie. Yo, wait, that won't make it easier. Is that the dark times that they didn't want to talk about? You'd think you'd be able to cook it, wouldn't you? Sear it a little bit.
We all need to make this choice for ourselves.
There is no choice. If you don't eat, you starve.
Mate, I'd say you're on my plate next week. That's what I'd be like. It's the first time I'm getting some insight into the dark times. The thing is, just like I was saying earlier, it sounds crazy, but I'm not against it. I'm actually not against it at all. Like, they're dead. They broke the law, they went in the fighting pit, they died. Why would you throw all of that meat away? I know it sounds savage, it sounds well strange, but it's just common logic sense. You got no food, there's food there. I'm not saying that you should be going out and eating your next door neighbour. Do you know what I mean? You're starving, your local shop's closed for the weekend and you're hungry, you go around and stab him up and kill him. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying you're stuck in this place and the only rations that you've got are deteriorating rapidly. You're not going to have no protein, and yet you're going to have obviously people dying consistently that you can actually use them as a resource. Do you know what I mean? It's about tough times and tough decisions. And I know that she don't like to talk about the dark here. That's what it's literally called. But it's like what I always say. You make a decision, you go with it. Yeah, if it turns out in 2 years' time it's a crap one, or 2 weeks' time it's a shit one, doesn't matter. Because at the time you made it, it was the right one. I personally believe that here, listening to what they've said, they got no rations, they're running low, they got no protein, they're going to die before the 5 years are up. They have to maximise the lifespan. And it's here right now. Yes, you don't have to force them to have it, honestly. Like, you can't force somebody to eat it. But what I'm saying is, yeah, whoever does eat it, you can't judge them. And, you know, as long as you're not going around and just taking people out the cells just to kill them, that's different. People who've died naturally or died in the pit, you know what I mean? They're being reused. Not saying it's the same as like dying and getting your organs cut out and passing it to somebody else, but, you know, you're utilising the body once you're gone. And, you know, I have no problem with you doing that.
You saved her life. Are you really gonna save theirs?
Let's talk about this later.
But we're on the wrong side of this war.
Maybe. But you get to live.
They're digging in at all 3 northern entry points. Draw tributaries.
I dropped my notebook at the gas station. McCreary must have found it. First strike option, counter moves, everything I could think of.
We're gonna take heavy fire, but as long as we stay together, we can still do this.
Everybody out. This war that you're so anxious for is about to be fought on the last survivable land on Earth. In 4 days, when we march on that valley, we're gonna fight this the right way. It ends with us accepting the other side's surrender.
This is how it was meant to be. You and me, side by side.
I'm not fighting for you. I'm fighting to get back to my family.
That is a dagger. Oh, you could tell that hurt. Ooh, that was a good one.
I thought I'd lost him. I started taking the pills after rally. We did things to survive. Things no human being should ever have to do.
Oh, more, mate. I'm liking it.
Won't take away their choice.
On the Ark, the Blight generation, they had a choice, and they never recovered from it.
What do you want me to do? Make it a crime not to be a cannibal? It's one way to fill the freezer. And I suppose you want me to make an exception for Kane?
No. Not special.
Marcus is the key.
We honor those who died, so we could live. I give all of myself to you, and so did they.
Those rations are tiny, man.
Eat.
Gun to the head.
Maybe I wasn't being clear.
The man in the arena yesterday was my brother.
Boy. Tomorrow you'll be here, that's what I'll be saying.
All of him. For all of us.
Yo. I'm gonna tell me.
You are WONKRU. Or you are an enemy of WONKRU.
Yo, this is tough for Octavia.
Please put down the gun.
Just take a bite.
Another one. Gone.
Octavia, please. Enough! Enough!
Very tasty. Look at him, he's shitting himself in the back. Yo, it had to be done from Octavia. You know, she has annoyed me quite a lot this season, but in this episode, she hasn't.
It was me.
Yeah, I don't blame you. You know, I actually don't blame you. And do you know what I mean? Like, I can't believe it's took us to what, episode 11 to get the first bit of the Dark Year. You know, every time it's mentioned, they're all fuming about it. And look at it now, mate. The full episode's called The Dark Year. And I know we kind of focused in on Abby and her position in this Dark Year. But I think they've missed a trick, me, putting this most of the season. Just the backstory of it. It's really good. Like, you could have slow build that cannibal story, like, over a couple of episodes, and it would have been totally fine. Just drop it in here and there, arguments, planning. First time they tried it, didn't like it. Second time, resources running low. Next time, if you don't do it, you're gonna die. Killed, you know what I mean? We eat you again. It's mad. Again, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a champion of eating people, but I understand why it's been done, and I understand why Octavia's had to do it, and this episode here, mate, I actually feel for her. I do, because right now in this episode, she doesn't look the type of savage killer that's willing to just, you know, murder every single person that she does in the present. This looks like before. This looks like it's what's ticked her over, possibly, got her into this position. This is where, like, you know, you've had that wall and you've stepped past it and you've gone to that extreme level that you can never recover from. That's what this looks like. So the first time, killing those first few people, that's the hard one. But I do believe it has to be done. If people are not going to comply, and it has to be done. If they don't eat and they dwindle away, they're losing resources for the rest of the ground. You know what I mean? For the rest of people in there. Like Abby was saying on the ship. And yeah, I understand, Abby, it was your idea. But I'll tell you what, it's a good one. Kept everyone alive. So, you know what I mean? I'm going to give you a thumbs up for being useful again. Oh, here we go, Maddie.
Can you still be against Octavia after what your mom said went on down there?
She murdered her own people.
As awful as it was, taking away their choice, she bore it so they didn't have to. Just like you at Mount Weather. Octavia, even Murphy, they were always the heroes. When all along it was you. Till now, I'm ashamed of you.
I never said I was a hero, Maddie.
That's true. She never actually does say that. Yeah, I liked that conversation. It's been a good episode. In my opinion, it's been a great episode.
We're leaving the tents here. Once the fight is over tomorrow, you come and join us. I told Octavia we're taking 80 acres on the eastern edge of the valley.
Throw something other than algae.
Why is she so pissed?
We're about to go to war. Maybe you should forgive me for saving your life.
I knew that was it, but I mean, why was she so mad though?
I'm not mad at you for saving my life. I'm mad at you for making me care about yours.
Right, I got it. Yo, the thoughts never popped in my head that Echo could die.
Let's go over this again. In position A here. According to Dioza, at the first sign of attack,
McCree's forces at point B and C will converge to reinforce A.
once we're in the valley, everything we had to do to get there, it'll make sense.
I hope you're right.
Baby?
Fine.
Good.
How's your neck?
Fine.
I'm gonna lose this war. Or you can get those guns off us and we'll tell you how to win it.
And why would you tell me that?
Because I won't let the devil in this garden.
That's interesting, that, to be fair. Like, I don't know if they're double bluffing or not. I feel like he actually is telling the truth, and he has revealed that they know they're coming, and he's going to obviously try and help them win. It's interesting to see the sides that are getting chosen, to be honest, because although Bellamy disagrees with everything that Octavia's doing, because he actually does disagree with it, like, he's still there, and he's obviously going for it, and so's Indra as well. You know, they voice their concerns that they think it's terrible, they're going to inflict casualties, but I actually do think that Octavia's numbers, yeah, should just win it alone. It's just one of those. It's like the 300. You know what I mean? No matter how good that army was, the people come in, you get outnumbered, you lose. You could be the best warriors ever. If they hit the front line and they come and they take, you know, like those casualties at the front, all of them getting killed, the rest are going to influx over. If they have to reload, take a minute, pause, look the wrong way, boom, you're in there. You bang, bang, bang. It's like when you see it in Vikings, you know what I mean? And they go into the castles, they put the ladders up and they're ascending. You know, the first people that are going up those steps, yeah, they're the ones getting shot with the arrows, they're dying. But as soon as that first person breaches that wall, the rest just fall over, and it's just too many. It is. I do feel like Octavia should win the war. I actually do. I don't know how powerful these guns are, to be honest, that they've got, but Murphy's got one. He actually has. Like I was saying before, I want him to go there, just be like, bang, 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 and even kill some of Octavia's people. Just, I mean, just smoke as many off as he can. That's like the Murphy character that I like. I feel like it would fit in perfectly, just there, like screaming, just blowing everyone up. It'd be decent. Now, the interesting thing is, again, I'm liking how Maddie's here, and she's telling Clark that she's on the wrong side of the war. She actually is. Now, the interesting thing is, right, I actually don't think Dials and this McCreary are that bad. Like, realistically, if I try to draw back their storylines, they've just come down to Earth to live, and he was attacked by Clark, he was. And basically, all he wanted to do is take the doctor and save their people because he was all suffering from this poisoning, isn't it? But yes, okay, because that one guy come in and hit Octavia's people with that weapon, he caused a disrupt between both of the clans, so to speak, which forced Dials to say, you stay here, we take there. And then, but like physically, me watching them doing things, they haven't annoyed me. Like, they're not that bad. Like, sometimes I'm seeing a war happening and I'm one side, yes, I want you to win, I want them to lose. This one, I actually don't care who wins. I actually don't care. Now, I want Bellamy to win, to be honest, you know, like, so if we're going to pick a side, I'm going to say I want Octavia to win, but I don't want Octavia to win. I actually want Bellamy and Echo and Raven to win. That's who I want to win, obviously, and Indra. They're my favourites, and they're the ones that I feel like had a sick, solid season. Now, them winning makes Octavia win, and that's fine. You know, I don't like many decisions Octavia's done, but if I'm going to pick a side, I'm picking against Clark, because even now Maddie's against Clark, you know, Clark's thinking this is the best way, but I don't actually think it is. And I'm excited to see how it goes, because we are on episode 11. It was called The Dark Year. We did get information on how Octavia's possibly got to the position that she's in now, and obviously the mental torture that it's had on certain people, like Kane, like Abby, like obviously Octavia herself, and now obviously it's getting repercussions and decisions that are coming now here in episode 11 on sides being taken, possibly based on those past decisions, which is interesting. And I think, like I said, they missed a trick showing these previous flashbacks, because I think it was good this episode. I really enjoyed it. And do you know what? If I knew more about this Octavia storyline in the past, I might have not have moaned as much as in the present, because I can understand how a character's got to where it is. Because in my personal opinion, I am not against the cannibalism that they've done. You know, you could be, that's totally fine. Opinions are about survival and the best way, and to utilising all resources that you have at hand, and that is it. Tough decisions, tough times, mate, big sacrifices, and obviously this was the biggest, the craziest, and obviously she had to kill people who didn't want to eat people, which was mad as well. They was on the table next day, so it's interesting. I can't wait to see how the season finishes. Okay, and that's going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and as mentioned at the start of the episode, the most likely disliked characters of this season vote is now open. Please do take 30 seconds, vote. Today's episode could have swayed you in one of the positions. Who knows? It might have even helped. You might have already decided that you disliked one of them, and then you might have actually been like, do you know what? Got a bit of a background about Abby, a bit of background about obviously Octavia. I might actually change it now. Somebody else is rivaling her, but now we've seen this good story, and I kind of understand where they're coming from. Might have shifted to a different character. It's interesting. That's kind of like, I'm kind of feeling this way in the last few episodes. I think I was kind of set who was going to pick, and then the more and more the storyline's going on, I'm like, yeah, do you know what, right, tough decisions, you know, had to do this, had to do that, didn't like you doing this, but then that person, I've just not liked them doing that and that and that and that, and they're rising, so I don't know, mate, I'm excited. Thanks for checking out, obviously, the voting, and obviously taking part, because, you know, without you, it would mean nothing. Now, interesting what's going on here. They're marching on. They found out that, obviously, they've got you know, they know about the eye in the sky, because Clark's gone and obviously grassed them up. They're using Dials as battle plans. They're setting up on all three angles, and, you know, they're using Octavia to the advantage, who's actually, Echo to the advantage. She's radioed into Bellamy. She said, look, mate, they know you come in. The element of surprise is gone now. But the interesting thing is now they have, I wouldn't say they have the element of surprise, but they know it's actually happening, so they can prepare for, obviously, them retaliating in their, obviously, offense. Now, the interesting thing is, we've seen they kind of taken charge themselves. They've got their bit of land. They've took us some of the weapons. You know what I mean? We've seen the guy who flies their ship, mate. He's kind of caught Raven's feelings, you know what I mean? He's come, he saved him. Actually, Miles here, Murphy's got one of these big massive weapons, and obviously Raven's given the cold shoulder for 4 days, it seemed like. Now they're sat up, they're getting their strategies ready, they're getting everybody into position, the guns. He said, look mate, you know, when we shoot, McCreary's men's going to come, make sure you don't use all your ammo. Just keep enough so that obviously we can retaliate once they arrive. I thought that was really interesting from Miles. It was clever. And then he's obviously gone over to Raven and said, look, mate, it's been 4 days. He's still mad at me. She's like, look, mate, I'm not actually mad that you come to save me. I'm actually mad that you've made me get into a position where I actually care for your life before giving him a kiss, which I'm excited for because I love Raven. She's been really good. She is a good asset. She's been pretty much one of the key saviors of everybody over the current entirety of the show. So again, very interesting. And obviously I'm happy that she's possibly got somebody now, because last time it was Finn. That seems like such a long time ago in season 2, mate. So I'm excited. Obviously I've got Echo here. She can't wait for Bellamy to return. I can't wait for it as well. I want to see how obviously her and Octavia unite. You know what I mean? 2 times she's banished her. Now she's showing that she's an asset. She's a good spy. She's helping everybody out. She's team Bellamy. She's team, obviously, not WONKRU, but originals. And, I want to know if she actually embraces her with open arms and helping her win this war, potentially, or if she's still going to be angry after, obviously, everything that's happened. Now, again, interesting stuff. Maddie, she's actually must be getting fed information now from the commanders, because she's turned around and she was like, look, mate, I can't believe you're choosing their side. You want to actually heal all these people. You want to do this. You want to do that. You told me stories about Octavia and this, and you were saying that you was the hero. But actually, from what I know, Bellamy's a hero. Murphy's the hero. Do you know what I mean? Octavia is Raven, not you. And then obviously Clark's turned around and said, actually, I've never said that I'm a hero. It's pretty good, actually. I've never actually heard Clark actually say that, and she doesn't actually champion any of the decisions that she's made. So I've got to give Clark credit there, because obviously going around killing everybody in, in Mount Weather, she's never actually gone around gloating about that. She was given the title one hater. It wasn't her. And obviously she's made tough decisions going forward in the show, which I believe at the right time that they was done, it was the correct ones. And killing people in Mount Weather, I wouldn't say it was like totally the same as Octavia doing these tough decisions here about obviously making people eat people, but people had to do what they done to survive in those situations, and the time and the thing that you had present, and those are the decisions that had to be made. And I was all for Mount Weather dying. I actually was. She had to pull it. I was game for it. Here again, before it was actually totally confirmed Octavia was eating people, I raised the question. I was game for it again. So I don't know, man. I'm not saying I'm always on their side, but I'm saying sometimes tough decisions have to be made, and they made them, and I thought they was the right ones at those present moments. So don't know if you do, but that's where I currently sit with it. I'm interested to see obviously how the season finishes. We've got 2 episodes left, and I have no idea who's actually going to win this war. Thanks for checking out the channel today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, please smash a like. Really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.